Is my audio all right, or do you need me to get headphones?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate.
That's us
Are we
live now.
working?
We're working live.
There we go.
So, hello and welcome to this Hampden Special, whatever you want to call it. Apologies about the technical issues there. We're never going to do things right first time. But yeah, that should be us live now. Join us in the chat. We're going to be chatting about Hampden. So off the start, I just want to say what you guys should be doing today in terms of Hampden. We're going to be talking about how we usually get through any sort of Hampden memories, any stories, anything like that. Get in the chat. We'll read out the best ones later on, or we'll read out as many as we can. But yeah, this is a bit of a different show today. We're going to be obviously a few sort of topical things, which as you can see there, we're going to be talking about the midfield. We've got a quiz which there is actually a question and answers round, but there is a couple of different rounds as well. So we'll put a bit of effort into that. We're going to be taking questions from you guys. We're going to have a wee bit of music, which might go down a nightmare, but we'll give it a bash. No disrespect, Liam. And like I say, we're going to be talking about, obviously, we've played St Johnstone a few times in the past, so we'll be chatting about that. Looking ahead to the game, obviously, the main thing at the end as well. So get all your questions in. So let's get started then. Guys, how you doing? Dave, start with yourself.
Fantastic, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Bit stressed getting this all up and running, but we seem to be good now, especially that.
Why? Because it takes. Fair enough, it was my fault. I never set up the Zoom chat, but we are quite a relaxed group. It's like 3 minutes to 1, and we're like, right, better get ready. It's really started earlier.
Aye. It's basically what it is the issue was I've got to set up for dual screens in order to get the quiz. You'll see when the quiz goes up later on. So I'll point to drop out and drop back in, which is a nightmare. But I'd done that and then it wouldn't pick up the other one. But anyway, it's sorted now. We're here. I can see it on Facebook Live. It looks good-ish. But yeah, we're on Facebook Live today and YouTube as well. We've spent the dollars to get the Streamlabs Premium. So
Here comes the money.
Stuart, how are you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Obviously, really looking forward to this and indifferent about tonight. I really do not know what to expect.
Yeah, aye. A bit apprehensive. I mean, I put up a graphic earlier on. The last 24 meetings, 8 wins for Hibs, 8 wins for St Johnstone, 8 wins for... 8 draws. I was going to say 8 wins for draws, but draws... Anyway. Yeah,
it's pretty down the middle, let's be fair.
And Hibs at Hampden, you never know. It can either be the best day or the worst day. Liam, how are you getting on? Liam?
Not bad, mate. Looking forward to the game. I just, kicking back, relaxing. You know what I mean? Just being me, mate.
Fortunately.
I know.
Some people don't like it. Like Dave, but listen.
Nah, we'll no name names.
Dave, I have to say your top is splendid. I love your top.
Like I forgot how long the arms were. Like, it's massive, but it's a cool top.
Very smart.
Very good purchase.
And like I say, you guys got this season's top on. I have to say, it's something I do need to purchase, but I'm being cheap and waiting for it to be reduced to $22.50. Because
I'm waiting for the big goalie top like that and all. So I agree with you there.
But yeah, so as I said, quite a different show today.
And Joe, how are you doing, mate?
Oh, cheers.
Yes,
I'm not too bad, man.
We do have Joe. I'll turn off the match, the strongest midfield thing, 2 seconds. We have Joe join us as well. Hello, Joe. Joe is going to be moderating the chat, so he'll be helping us sort of keep on top of your guys' questions and all that sort of stuff. He's obviously going to be joining us for the quiz as well. And we are going to, and then he's going to, when we're doing the match preview, Joe has went and got some statistics looked out as well. So we've got Statman Joe. I don't know if Statman Dave has got it copyrighted, but yeah, we've got Statman.
I'm a Statman.
Statman
Give it a bit.
joining us for that. But yeah.
One for the oldies there.
You have to show off your new trackie though, Joe, before we get you back to moderating the chat. Show off the trackie you've got. I know we've seen Lewis Stevenson model.
Oh, yeah, it's the 90s inspired Hibs trackie. It's quite decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
For the price it was, anyway.
Well done, Joe.
Looks very smart. Well done, mate.
It's something I need to get because I mean, obviously with the Hibs Talk logo, I love the Saturn badge. I was gutted when Hibs got rid of it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I loved it, so I need to get on top of that 90s inspired gear. I think it's great.
When did we start calling it the Saturn badge? It was always called the beer bottle badge
Yeah, I've always known it as a beer bottle.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Why beer?
What's
It
that?
just
Dave?
looks like a
The
beer
kind of
label.
badge you would get on a beer bottle.
Aye.
Is it?
I mean, pretty self-explanatory, Dave. What the fuck?
Well, I don't think it does. So
Right, well,
Well,
you're in the
if you don't
minority.
ask questions, you never learn. I think that's fair, Dave.
no, I just wanted to ask. Fuck off, Liam. Sub.
Come on. I love this game.
Okay, so let's get started. Let's get chatting about the midfield because it's something else I'd asked Jack Ross about a couple of weeks ago at a press conference and stuff. We do have a lot of options in midfield, so I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the current midfield situation. A few things we'll kind of run through all the players, and then kind of finish up getting your guys' opinions on the strongest midfield. So Joe, I'm going to put the graphic back up. So, but I know you'll still be there, but I'll let you get back to monitoring the chat.
Right,
Because questions
you.
coming up.
Cheers, Joe.
See you in a bit, Joe. I feel bad doing that. I want everybody on. But yeah, let's chat about the midfield then. Dave, who would you say has been our best midfielder so far this season?
Probably Joseph Newell.
Any particular reason?
Just been decent, isn't he? Like composed. You can tell he's just got a bit of class in the ball, and he's been our best player. I think in general, probably not just even midfield.
I seen. I think it was Craig who I can see is in the chat. He in one of our group chats compared him to Dylan McGeoch in terms of sort of being able to find that space and keep the ball and ball retention and things like that, and sort of some of that tidy footwork. Is that a comparison you'd agree with?
Yeah, 100%. I think you see a lot of midfielders like either panic or like they just make the wrong decision, whereas he's just completely the opposite. Whenever he gets the ball, I feel confident that he's not going to lose it. Like even when he's got folks swarming around him and that, like you've seen him. I don't know where it's came from. If he's always had it and we just didn't see it at the start, but he can take the ball on and he can spin a player quite easily, even though he's not obviously blessed with pace.
Mm-hmm.
I think this season we're starting to actually see the player that we were kind of hopeful that Heckingbottom had bought, and roughly kind of how he was described. Hibs always do the great interviews when a new player comes in. How do you describe yourself? And we're actually starting to see that now from Joe Newell from that description. Heckingbottom maybe not getting the best out of quite a few of us. Probably would have been quite happy for him to be shown the door at the start of this season. But he's really turned it around. To go back to Dave's point, some of the times where he got the ball during that recent Celtic game, he was just able to carry it, beat a few men, find a very intelligent pass that could have opened up the game a bit more. Yeah, without a doubt, definitely a star performer, and hope we can get him signed up for longer.
I know I'm getting him signed up. Liam, I mean, comparisons to Dylan McGeoch, hopefully not another one that we see run their contract down and move on.
Absolutely. I think it's really important that we get them signed up. Players like that, they're not very easy to replace. We've been trying to replace John McGinn since he left, and I think Joe knows he's not similar to John McGinn in any way, I don't think, but he's the first kind of player that's come in that I've really thought, oh, we've got a quality player here that we've actually had rather than just on loan like Greg Dock. But like you said, we need to get him signed up, get him to write whatever number he wants on the bit of paper, get him signed up, and tell him to never cut his hair because it's luscious.
Tremendous, yeah. Aye.
Brilliant. Like Stuart's.
I remember the first press conference.
It's often manageable, mate.
Press conference that was sort of outside because of COVID and stuff. It was a red hot day. I got sunburned that day, of course I did. And he was, he sort of put some water in his hair and he was just sort of getting prepared to pose for the photos, and he's thinking his hair back, and I'm like, man, you're a good looking guy. I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to say he's a really good looking guy. Sure, I mean, we're
Why do you immediately go to me after that? That's I agree, Gav. Absolutely, he's a stunner. Aye.
But obviously, talking about the midfield, somebody that we're really excited to see back is Scott Allen. Looks like he's back. He's back in the squad today. They were hoping to have him play a couple of bounce games, but for whatever reason, COVID and all that sort of stuff, those bounce games haven't happened. So they've adapted the training to try and get him up to speed sooner. But I'll be honest, I'm pinching myself. I can't believe it. I mean, there was so much uncertainty, but it's great to see that Scott's back.
Yeah, apparently one of the bounce games was due to be against Celtic, but they've lovely chucked the toys at the pram at us again. How dare we ask if their players take COVID tests? How irresponsible of us. I do want to kind of sit on the fence regarding the Scott Allen thing. Simply because we know the talent he's got. He's absolutely fantastic. On his game, firing all cylinders, he is easily one of the best midfielders in Scotland, and that's not the green tinted specs saying that. But the lad, he's been out for some time. There's bound to be some rust about it. It looks like he has been keeping himself fit, but I'd love to just going to say to the Hibbies, I'm as excited as everyone else, but we can't expect Scott Allen to be Scott Allen again straight away for it. I can't see him starting today, but giving him 20 minutes, we know what he can do. It is exciting to have him back. It is like a new signing, but let's just kind of cock Annie a wee bit on this one, I'm afraid.
I agree with what you're saying there, Stuart, but remember when we got him back on loan and he hadn't played for Celtic for longest time. I ken the circumstances are different because he was out with health issues and stuff. But he came back and he more or less hit the ground running when he came back on loan for that half season under Lennon. So, hopefully if he's been keeping himself as fit as like what we believe, seeing all the pictures and stuff, I think he's been, getting fit and been in training for a wee bit now, so hopefully he can hit the ground running. But he's obviously going to take a wee bit of time to get up to speed properly. But he's still a quality player, and I think Scott Allen at any level of fitness or anything is going to be an addition to the team.
Absolutely. With his diabetes, he's always been a lad that's kind of known how to look after himself. You've not got to have the fear of him, oh yeah, he's out for a wee bit injured or whatever, he's going to be on the kebabs and the takeaways. We've not got that kind of fear for it, but I'm still just wanting to kind of be a little bit cautious about it. I am excited. We all know what kind of player he is, and from the pictures online, he's really bulked up. He looks a lot more solid from it. So we've got Newell, who's obviously kind of extremely handsome. We've got muscly Scott Allen. Oh, honestly, it's just a dream midfield.
Jackson Irvine,
yeah,
a good-looking guy.
Dave, we've kind of is Scott Allen something we've missed? Obviously, personality is great to see him back, but in terms of on the pitch, it's something we've missed as well. The kind of that link between the midfield and the attack.
Yeah, just a bit of creativity. Obviously, Joe Newell's kind of provided a wee bit, but there is games where he does sit quite deep. Mm-hmm. But I think when we play that 5 in the middle, or the 3 in the middle, like Gogic is sitting deeper, that's when we've seen Newell maybe play a bit better. But we've definitely missed Scott Allen's creativity. Just somebody that will just do something that the opponents are like, oh shit, I didn't expect him to do that. We're just dead predictable, flat, like passing across the lines. So it needed it back for a while.
Yeah. And Liam, talking about that sort of link between midfield and attack, on Saturday against Kilmarnock, we've seen Irvine play that number 10 position, sort of just off Nisbet, playing quite close to Nisbet at times. He was almost playing the target man at times. A few times where he held the ball up really well, took it down at his feet and then whipped it out to Murphy, or looked for Boyle or McGinn out wide, or potentially back to Hallberg. But he was sort of playing that target man in a way. Is that his best position, or is he filling a gap at the moment? I mean, I don't know much about Jackson Irvine. In terms of what position do you see him best? Is he a 10, or is he a 6 or an 8, or just a bit of everything?
I would have said he was a 6 or an 8, more than a 10. But then again, I've never watched Jackson Irvine week in, week out, but from what I've heard of him and what I've read, he's more of that kind of box-to-box central midfielder rather than a number 10 and holding up.
We've lost Liam a wee bit. Liam,
up the ball for Nisbet. He's pretty tall. He's bulky. You know what I mean? He can play in that role for when Doidge isn't on the park to hold up the ball. So I would see him more sitting a wee bit deeper and going box to box than a 10. But if he can play there, then crack on basically.
I think there's almost an element of a McGinley in him as well. He does seem just a very versatile midfielder. Still a bit disappointed it was only there in the 6 months, but hopefully from what he was kind of saying in the press conference, he seems to be wanting to be here a bit longer. So fingers crossed for that.
And Stuart, I mean, we're speaking. We're seeing a lot of people saying about how I think even Jack Ross said it. Scott Allen's going to be a new signing because he's had another signing who I guess has maybe not had as much of an impact. One injury and sort of not found his feet yet has been Kyle McGuinness. If he's got those injuries behind him now, he's meant to be in the squad today. If that's the case, could he be like another new signing because we haven't sort of reaped the benefits of him yet?
We've almost got a bit of an embarrassment of riches. When you asked us to put our team together, I pretty much wrote it down, but then I start to forget or remember about other players coming back in. I was quite excited when we signed McGuinness. Like, guys, 21, 22, captain already at St Mirren. They must have seen something. We know what good midfielders they can produce. I think we've done very well getting him in, getting signed up. Really sad for the laddie that he's not been able to kind of hit the ground running like he would have wanted to. But times where we've seen him, there's definitely a player there. And I think he's going to be one that we're going to be really excited and delighted to have coming into the back end of the season if he can stay injury free.
I agree with that completely. I think he's a good player and there's definitely a space here for him. You know, once he gets rid of the injuries, it seems like as soon as he's back, he's out again, which is a shame. Because, you know, I do rate him. I rate him very highly. So let's hope that he can stay fit.
Yeah, and the one who's at the front of the graphic here, Dave, is Stevie Mallon. I know he comes under criticism at times, but to counter that, he chips in with assists and he chips in with goals. So does he have a part to still play in this team?
Nah, no. You've got... Sorry. Nah.
No.
He's not no, if you've got... what's their names? Scott Allen, Newell, Gogic, that's McGuinness. That they're all probably going to be in before Stevie Mallon. Like Halberg, probably another one. But see, if I was them, I'd be like, right, Scott Allen's coming back in. Like McGuinness is going to come back in, and like if they don't take their opportunity now, which I don't think they have been taken, but even like more so now, if they don't take that opportunity, then they're not going to be good enough. Do you know what I mean? We need to stop like holding on to players for as long. Like we've done it with Slivka for years. It's like, is he going to be? Nah, just go on. If you want to be better, if you want to finish above teams like Aberdeen rather than just finishing mediocre, then need better players and stop holding on to players just because they're all right sometimes.
And Dave mentioned Halberg there. Actually, one I completely forgot to write down, but we've kind of touched on him there. The other one is I've got here in terms of central players is Gogic. Stuart, is he one that maybe? I mean, he's kind of proved some of his doubters wrong in the last few games. Quite a good few performances. Easy for me to say, but is he maybe a player we don't need every single game? You know, does it depend on the opponent? And then could the counter also be said about Scott Allen?
Yeah, I think so. Not so that they'd be a like for like sub, but there are going to be times where, you know, we need somebody sitting off that defence. Gogic has done it absolutely brilliantly against Celtic and against Kilmarnock last week. But what a bloody finish he was. Who knew he had that in his locker as well against Killie. So being able to kind of swap them in and out is actually a great thing. But I've actually put him in the midfield for today.
Right. Okay.
In my one I've picked. So I'm just totally contradicting myself there. Fair enough.
So I guess the final sort of question would be, what is everyone's? And like I say, I want to get this in the chat as well. We'll hopefully get a few people in the chat coming with their strongest midfield. So if everyone's fit, obviously, like we said, sometimes it might depend on the opposition. But if everyone's fit, who's your strongest midfield? You can obviously bring in the likes of Boyle and Murphy if you want now. Dave, who would you say would be the strongest midfielder? Are you playing a 5? Are you playing a 4? Are you playing a 3? What are you playing, and who are you starting?
The day it would be Gogic, Newell, and then Halberg would be my middle 3, and I'd probably put Boyle. I'd probably play with wing backs, so the two up top.
Away from today, just sort of like say in 4 weeks' time, everyone is up and running, everyone's fully fit. Scott Allen's fully fit. McGuinness is fully fit. Who are you starting? And if you don't know, that's fine.
No, I don't know. Gogic, Newell, and Scott Allen as a 3.
Wow. Okay. Stuart, who are you starting?
Today, I've gone for a 4-5-1 formation of the midfield of Murphy, Newell, Gogic, Irvin, and Boyle. So that's just what I'm thinking. But we've got great options on the bench. I still feel that we're being a little bit harsh on Stevie Mallon. I think we are maybe too sentimental at Hibs. I don't know if that's a problem that we hold over other clubs, but there's definitely a player in there, and I would be disappointed to see him go out on loan. There's a bit of information floating around that says St Mirren are maybe keen, or we're trying to work with that one for him. But we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Mallon coming off the bench against Alloa. So I think he's definitely still got a place. He's not a starter, but he's a guy who can come on and kind of make a difference for us.
That's maybe not a bad shout, Barry, because our bench has obviously been weak. So like having game changers on the bench, like somebody that maybe can create something on their day when they are performing well. I think he needs his confidence up, though, doesn't he? He's definitely one of them, I think.
Right. He needs some hair tips from Newell.
I think he's always a good shout for coming off the bench. I mean, I don't think there's any reason why we should start him, but I think having him on the bench, given the kind of how weak our bench is most of the time, having a player like Stevie Mallon that you can come on and you can that you'll probably get, a half decent corner or a free kick out of him. He's a good crosser on the ball. It's always a decent option to have coming off the bench, I would say.
Yeah, I've got a bit of comment in the chat here saying keep Mallon, bin Hallberg. So
I see that's from.
To
Billy.
be honest, actually, I would actually agree with that. I would agree with that. I didn't rate Hallberg at all.
Is Billy? I can see that's Billy though. Is he being biased because Mallon's really good on Football Manager? And he.
It's Billy. Oh, no, I saw that
I
then.
mean, but Liam, you're saying that there. Just is it just because he does chip in with goals and assists?
I don't really see what Hallberg brings to the team over Stevie Mallon. I just feel like he's a bit of a passenger in the middle of the park. Just not for me. I can see why people like him, but for me, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think Mallon's good enough either, but if I was to keep one and chuck another, I would chuck Hallberg and keep Stevie Mallon.
My thinking of this for the bench is, okay, again, going back to my point of embarrassment of riches in the midfield, we've got McGuinness and Allen who haven't played a lot recently through injuries and other matters. If we're needing somebody to really dig in, I think Mallon's almost my go-to there.
I would say so as well.
It's exciting to see the fact we've got these options. I mean, Dave, you rattled off a midfield there, and Jackson Irvin wasn't in it, which was one of the ones.
Completely forgot about him.
Exactly, and that's. I mean, the thing is, we're excited about the options we've got. We might see one or two of these players move on before the end of the window. We'll have to sort of keep an eye on that and see what happens. But it's great. I think it's great that we've been crying out for options, especially off the bench. We need competition, players fighting for the jersey. We've spoken about how great that's been having that at left back. There's nobody sort of resting in the laws. I think we still need it up top. Probably need it at centre back as well. Probably not going to get that until next season, but I think it's great that we've got it in the midfield, and hopefully it results in a lot sort of really exciting performances from the midfield, starting today and getting us to a final.
And we all forgot to mention poor wee Dre, right?
He's more of a wide player. I know he can play in the middle, but I don't think we'll see him much in the middle. But we'll speak more about Dre right in a minute. You'll find out what I'm talking about in a minute. So let's get started with this quiz. This is really fiddly, so there might be some issues here. Please bear with us. I'm going to have to. I was trying this earlier on, and when I tried screen sharing, the Zoom call sort of disappeared. So that's why I had the dual screens, and that's why you had double Liam earlier on at the start of this. So I'm going to jump back off, make Dave the host, do the dual screens, and then get set up with the quiz so I can share the screens so everyone can see the questions and you guys can see the questions. So, Dave, I'm going to jump off for a second. You'll be the host, and I'll be back in a minute. Dave, chat away. I don't know if you've got any questions you kind of want to go through for a minute. But aye.
It's awkward.
Who's not prepared?
Just
saying that it's me that's going out live, so we'll just be 2 seconds as I quickly jump off.
Just a few comments from our Twitch feed. Thanks very much for getting in touch, everyone. Yeah, you know what? Seems as though everybody's up for this today, which is fantastic. We're getting a lot of sing-songs going on here. Question, what shampoo does Gav use?
You're stealing, Stuart. You're stealing. Wait, I want to answer that in a second. You're stealing Joe's job.
You're stealing
Oh,
Joe's
sorry,
job.
mate.
Joe's
Shit.
moderating the chat, and you're just jumping in and just stealing his job.
Yes!
Aye.
Right, I love controversy. Come on!
And
Joe's like, I love this game!
in terms of shampoo, it's just whatever the wife buys. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll grab that in a second.
Joe, my apologies, mate.
Yeah, right. So the first question was where the key battle is going to be today.
Okay, we'll do the questions now.
What was that?
I'll.
Where the key battle is going to be today.
I think a big one for me is keeping our old boy quiet, isn't it? Witherspoon. He's going to be well up for today. We shafted him a couple of times for no playing him in Scottish Cup finals. In the 2-2 game earlier this year, he came on and played like a man possessed. So he's going to be up for kind of sticking the knife into us today. But stick Gogic on him and that'll be fine.
Yep. Any other questions, Joe?
Seconds.
I'll tell you what. We'll come back to the questions after the quiz. We're going to do the quiz first. I'm going to jump onto the break scene for a second. So we will be back in 2 minutes, maybe a minute, as quick as we can. We'll just be right back.
You can see Liam in the Twitch chat.
Okay, hello, we're back. Sorry about getting that a bit fiddly there. So yeah, this is the League Cup quiz. We have some questions to begin with, and then a couple of silly rounds after that, which we'll get to. So the first round is question and answers, and it's gonna.
As in most quizzes.
Yeah, but then the other rounds aren't. So you'll see what I mean. So round one is the question round. I couldn't think of a better name. Please suggest a better name for it in the comments. But yeah, pretty much some questions to do with Hibs and the League Cup. So there's 8 questions. Some of them they're not multiple choice, so you just need to write down what you think it is. Some of them have multiple points available, and I'll let you know when that is. So let's get started with question number 1. So question number 1, Hibs played St Johnstone in the 2016 League Cup. John McGinn with the winning goal, taking Hibs to the final with a 2-1 win. Who scored the opening goal though?
Oh, good one.
So who scored the opening goal? That was a...
Well, the real question is who was sober enough at Tynecastle to remember it.
Yeah, the game at Tynecastle. We then obviously went on to the final in Ross County. Jackson Irvine tore us a new one that day. So similar performance today again. Jackson, please. That would be lovely. So if you write down your answers for that one, you can play along in the chat. Guys, please don't cheat and read the chat and what they're saying. But guys, put in the chat your answers as well. Play along in the chat. Next question we have, not a successful semi-final against Celtic in 2019, losing 5-2. Who played the last competitive game for Hibs that day?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm stuck between 2.
oh shit! Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, so this is according to some site that I googled that I can't remember, but so if it's wrong, it's wrong. But this is what it said. So yeah. So have you all got something written down?
Yes.
I do that.
Okay. Now I have done this. The next question, I've done this before, but I don't care. So Dave, really embarrassing if you get wrong because I know you were on for this one.
Oh,
Who scored that day? Who scored the 2
Both of
goals
them.
for Hibs?
You did do this
So there's
before.
2 points of it. I did, but sue me. It's League Cup related. There's 2 points available. So a point per player.
Second one's
I am
definitely wrong.
fucking cruising this, by the way.
Aye, I have to say that I was so drunk at that game.
I was minced.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Billy, did I speak to you on the phone or did I bump into you?
You bumped into me. I think we
Yeah.
were standing next to each other for a big chunk of it.
Yeah. We kind of. I didn't sit anywhere near our seats.
You were
No.
obviously more fucked than Billy then, Gav.
Yeah.
I missed the goal. I went for a pee.
Dave got in a fight with somebody, I'm sure.
Me?
You got in an argument with somebody. Did you know?
Like Dave scrapping.
Did I? No, I
You
was
and
on.
Stephen got in an argument with somebody.
Team wiped.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. So next question we have. After winning the cup in 1991, Hibs returned to the final in 1993 against Rangers. What was the score that day?
I don't know.
I love your honesty, Liam.
One for the old days. There you go.
What am I meant to do?
Again.
Guess a common scoreline. I don't know. It might not have been a common scoreline. Just guess a scoreline.
I think I've seen this top, and it's a quite a cool top. I've seen it getting sold on eBay, and it's got like the cup final like writing around the badge. And
Yeah, it's kind of it follows the beer bottle badge, the beer bottle badge, mate. Yeah, with the League Cup in 1993 on it. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's quite smart.
I didn't. I've no. I was like, oh, I wonder what the score in that game was. So I looked it up, and we got beat. So I was like, meh. If that's the game, I've just gave away the fact we lost.
Ah,
Oh,
we didn't,
it's-
I think we all know that we didn't win the
Ah,
game.
no. There's some clueless Hibs fans out there.
So
Some of them are on this pod.
next question. Name Hibs' route to the 2004 final. You get a point per team.
Oh God.
So who were the
Oh,
4 teams
fucking
that we
hell.
played before that horrendous final against Livingston? So yeah, who was the 4 teams we played before that? The route to the final. A point per team.
I know who we played in the semi-final, but
Aye.
I've got quarters and semis, but
I can 2 of them.
What's your guys' memories of the Livingston game? The
I
cup
don't
final.
remember it. That was just me.
Just a sea of green and white, and utter disappointment.
My fiance isn't much of a football fan anymore, but she had a season ticket at Ammanville, and she was actually she was one of the 30 Livingston fans that were there.
Huh. Weren't they still selling tickets on the Friday before the game in the car park of the Ammanville Centre or something like that? Yeah.
Probably.
It just seemed like it was. It just seemed it was a certainty. It just, we had this really young, exciting team, and it was definitely a lesson for being a Hibs fan. I mean, 14 at the time I was, and it just. I remember it just seemed like such a big occasion. Even like a Celtic family were kind of coming along with us, which was weird. And my mate, who doesn't even like football, was in crutches and was there, just like it was going to be something special, and it really wasn't. It was horrible.
The cockiest I've ever been, I think, going into a football game. I was it was just, I hadn't learnt my lesson yet, and then after that, it's like, that's probably where all the negativity for me came from. I've been
scarred.
Been moulded by that game, David.
I got ripped. I was at, I can remember sitting in geography. This is really weird, and then just getting the piss taken out of me of like other teams' fans and that when I went back into school. That's definitely a good thing now. See, not going to school anymore.
Well, the worst thing for me.
Because you only just stopped going to school right now.
The worst thing for me is I was the only Hibby in my school, and the librarian in my school was a Livingston fan. You see when you're getting it tight for a librarian.
The librarian in my school was a fucking weirdo. She used to cut about in her bare feet all the time. It was minging.
Oh, my librarian was a weirdo as well. He only had one leg and he fell down the stairs once and his leg went flying. That day I was like, that's karma. That's what you deserve.
Get on.
I was one of the very few Hibs fans, and Dave was in a similar situation in a high school out in Livingston. So all the Livingston fans, well, the few that there were, made sure to try and find me out and give me as tight as they could. But yeah, moving on for this question, who in that sort of League Cup campaign, who was the top goal scorer? So it doesn't have to be a Hibs player, but who was the top goal scorer of the 03-04 League Cup?
I'm doing every single answer on a different bit of paper.
Why?
Because I want to.
Because fuck the trees.
Keeping Michael Scott in a job.
It's actually because I've got this beautiful Visit Scotland from my work. Scotland's national tourism organisation. If you want to book a holiday to Scotland, folks, then
I'd love to, mate.
Well, tough shit. You're staying down there.
Right.
Is that the official Tourism Scotland point of view there? Aye.
Yep. Nope, actually. Nope.
Two more questions to go, I think. Let's have a look. So the next one is, which round did Hibs knock Hearts out in the 2006-2007 League Cup? So this doesn't sort of go into any answer. So of course the most one-sided 1-0 I think I've ever seen. The Rob Jones goal 1-0. I loved that game. I absolutely annihilated them, but it's just one of those sort of infuriating games where we should have scored more. We should have scored so much.
That was
more.
A good Hearts team as well.
Yeah,
we embarrassed them though. Mikey Stewart was tremendous that day. Mikey Stewart, Brown, should have been more. So yeah, what net round did we knock Hearts out in the 06-07 League Cup? And I believe this is the two more questions actually. So obviously we got to the final, 2007 3-1 win. It went to extra time for the 3-1 win. Who scored the equaliser for St Johnstone?
Oh my god!
Oh, I think I ken this.
Write it down then.
I think I watched it last night as well, and I can't even remember. Fuck me.
I know, I did think of maybe not putting this one in because I know there's been a lot of videos like SPFL put up a video of all the goals, so I thought you might have seen this, but
yeah, I think I've seen it.
Just obviously didn't pay attention.
Yeah, they keep showing Benji's goal. I never saw the other ones, did
I've no idea how to spell his name, but so I think it is.
Spell it out, I'll see if I can help you.
And I believe this is the final question. Oh no, so that was the final question. So have you got your answer? So pens down. So we're going to go back to the first question we've got here. So the first question was Hibs played St Johnstone and John McGinn scored the winner. Who scored the opening goal? Dave, start with yourself. Who did you go for?
I've done a punt. James Keatons.
Okay. Liam?
The cum dog.
Jason Cummins? Billy?
Jason Cummings, baby.
Oh, dear.
Joe?
I can remember, so I didn't put anything down.
Okay. Just like a Hibs player. Stuart?
Yep, Jason Cummins penalty.
Okay, I should have got the scores here. So that's a point for Stuart, point for Billy, and a point for Liam.
Nothing for
Yes,
Dave.
the correct answer was Jason Cummins.
I was there. I can't remember. Like,
I think I should get an extra mark because I actually put Jason Cummins penalty exactly as it is on the answer sheet.
Nope.
Oh, he's
Did
harsh.
you put a lowercase p?
Oh no, I just wrote pen. Sorry, mate.
No,
You're
so
right.
you didn't put exact. You lied to me. You're not getting points for lying. Next question was about the losing 5-2. Who played the last competitive game that day? Dave?
Thomas James.
Liam?
Christopher Maxwell.
Billy?
Josh Vela.
Oh,
Joe?
this is a-
Josh Vela.
And Stuart?
Yeah, I went for Vela as well.
Correct answer was Josh Vela.
Oh,
So that's Billy, Stuart, and Joe.
And good
Get the
riddance
point.
as well, Josh Vela.
I'm still on 0 points.
Who scored that day? Dave, you've had this question before, so I'm coming to you first. Who scored for Hibs that day?
Flo and Halberg.
Liam?
Canberra and Halberg.
Billy?
Bradbury and Halberg.
Joe?
Canberra and Halberg.
Stuart?
yep, Halberg, Canberra.
Yep, so 2 points for everybody. Dave's off the mark there.
Well done, Dave.
And so, Canberra and Halberg. What was the score in the 91, the 93 final? Dave?
2-1 to Rangers.
2-1 Rangers. Liam?
2-0 to Rangers.
Billy?
2-1 Rangers.
Joe?
2-1 Rangers.
Stuart?
Yeah, 2-1 Huns.
So everyone gets a point apart from Liam there. That was
I want to
2-1.
say we were 1-0 up from an own goal, and McCoy scored a spectacular overhead kick to beat us 2-1.
I think that was the overhead kick, yeah. I'm sure that was that game. Yeah. So let us know in the chats if Stuart's right with that, because I can't remember exactly. Okay, so name the route to the final. 4 points up for grabs here.
Ugh,
Dave, who
this
did
is
you
a
go for?
stinker.
Alan Lemieux, Celtic and Rangers.
Okay, that is correct, so I'll put down the 2.
I just guessed the other two, so I've not written them down though.
Yeah.
But I'll just tell you the now. Wraith Rovers and Airdrie.
Okay, Liam, who did you go for?
I've got Rangers and Celtic, but I'm going to do the same as Dave and put Aberdeen and Kilmarnock, maybe.
Okay, Billy?
I've done the same. I've only wrote Rangers and Celtic, but I'll guess Ross County and Livingston.
Joe?
Played Livingston.
I put Rangers and Celtic, but I'll guess Aberdeen and Dundee.
And Stuart?
I think it was Ayr United, Green Martin, Celtic and Rangers.
So the correct answer was Montrose, Queen of the South, Celtic and
Did I get
Rangers.
it?
So yeah, 2 points for Stuart for Celtic and Rangers. So yeah, only 2 points is the maximum everyone got there. Who was the top goal scorer in the League Cup? Everyone just sort of say their answer.
Derek
I'm
Rick.
McManus.
Riordan.
Grant Brebner.
Billy, who did you say?
Riordan.
Tom McManus.
Nobody got it right. It was Stephen Dobby
Oh,
with 4
should
goals.
have thought he scored against Rangers in normal time, eh?
Yeah, he did. Alright, that's good. Makes it easier enough to mark scores down. What now round did we knock out Hearts? Dave,
I think I've wrote quarters.
quarters. Liam,
Quarters.
Billy,
Quarterfinal.
Joe,
Quarters.
Stuart.
I'm going to embarrass myself. I put round 3.
So everyone gets a point apart from Stuart. It was the quarterfinals. Yep, quarterfinals. Rob Jones and Liam's favourite, Stephen Whittaker, celebrating there. Hibs progressed with 3-1 win. Who scored for St Johnstone? Let's hear some cracking answers here. Dave.
I've not wrote any in, mate. I couldn't even think of St Johnstone players for back
Fair
then.
enough. Liam.
Jason Scotland.
Billy.
Philippe Moraes.
He played for us.
Joe.
Yeah, we signed him after that game.
I didn't put anything.
Stuart.
Yeah, I went Jason Scotland as well.
Jason Scotland, the correct answer.
Oh,
Yes! I knew I could do it.
well done, Liam.
I completely forgot he played for St Johnstone.
Yeah, you always think him at Dundee United, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that round. So the scores at the end of that round, we have Stuart on 8 points, Billy on 8 points, Liam on 7 points, Dave on 6 points, and Joe on 7 points, but still all to play for. So the next round we have is, I've never thought about this. I'll need to hide you for a second, but hopefully you can still see it.
The main paper again.
Whose eyes? Yes, aye. Still waiting down an answer. So whose eyes are these anyway? So
That's Milton Jones.
it's actually a wrestler. Dexter Loomis he's called. So I have five
Take your word
sets,
on that. Jesus.
5 sets of Hibs eyes. So it could be current or former players or managers. 1 point if you guess who it is correctly. So I'll bring you back. Okay, and we'll go on to the next slide. Oh, I'll have to move you.
Oh, that's easy.
Aye. Those eyes still haunt my dreams.
He actually visits you, mate.
Hope no.
So yes, round one.
Francis Tickle was a great player.
This should be a quite straightforward, quick fire round.
There's just so much hate in those eyes.
I can even tell you the picture that that's from.
Whose eyes are they?
You okay? Fucking hell. This is totally wrong, but I'm stuck. Oh, is it? Oh, fuck. Who knows? Sorry, am I out loud?
It's all right. I'm just quite putting down a better way of keeping a track of the scores. And so the next set of eyes we have are these ones here.
That's an easy one.
So,
I think so.
I love that. Is it? So
I think I'm 3 for 3, not gonna lie.
Me too. I'm very confident.
I have to
The
say,
idea who two is.
we did a test of this a couple of months ago, and I don't think anybody got it right. So I tried to make it a bit easier, show a bit more of the face and a bit further back, and go for a bit more obvious ones. But hopefully, because like I say, Dave was on that. We've done a little test of this, and I don't think anybody got a point for the eyes round. So I'd made it too difficult. Next one here.
See if I ever have to help the police with a photo fit, I'm going to be fucking useless.
Okay. Write down your answers. And final one. Whose eyes are these?
See, that looks like an individual who smiles a lot.
They can't be at Hibs then.
I know.
N'Golo Kante.
So I can see a few guesses in the chats as well. So make sure you guys aren't cheating and looking at the live chat for help.
I forgot we could use the chat for help.
Okay, have you all got something written down? We'll run through the answers.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, I've got this last one. I need 2 seconds.
Take your time, Dave. Since it's you, anybody else I'd be telling them pens down.
Right, bend down.
Deep into their eyes here. It worked for number 2. I just stared at them for ages, just made eye contact, and it worked.
I just took a guess on two, eh? I had no idea who two is.
I've got a good idea.
You know, this one is 5.
I think I can who it is.
I reckon Gal's been sneaky with this one.
Me?
I'm pretty sure I know who that is.
Right. Well, let's find out. Dave, you gonna write down a name?
I'll just go. I'll think about it now.
Okay, you've got time. I'll let you think down some. So this one, I think this is a bit of an obvious one. Who was this one?
Lenny.
Neil Francis Lennon.
Lennon.
Real Lennon.
Everyone go for Lennon, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll take your word on that. Nobody's cheating. That was a very obvious one, yes. Neil Lennon, of course.
Was that the picture you were thinking of, Liam?
Yeah, that one after. I think the game after Morton.
Yes, when he got in a
When he
fight with
got
Tim
a-
Duffy.
Got off on a square goal.
Oh God, the 3-0 home game. Aye, Jesus.
No, it was
No,
0-0.
no.
And Dan
Was it-
McGregor got sent off for faking a headbutt.
Ah, right.
So whose eyes are these? What did you just go for?
Jason Cummins.
I've got Derek Riordan.
Derek
I said
I put
Riordan?
Paul Hanlon.
Paul
I said
Hanlon?
Dre Wright.
Oh,
Jay
fucking
Wright.
hell, it is Paul Hanlon, isn't it?
Yeah, I went Paul Hanlon
I think
Hanlon.
Cummins.
after about 4 different guesses. Jason Cummins.
Point for Dave.
Right, well done, Dave.
Oh, it's
Shut
Cummins.
up.
Same photo and everything. I'll make sure you use the same photo. So, yep. This one here.
Chris Killen.
Chris Killen.
Big Kiwi Chris Killen, aye.
Chris
And-
Killen.
Anybody
Aye.
go for anything
Chris
different?
Chris Cullen.
Chris Killen, correct answer. Point for everybody. Yep. Oh, spoilers.
I had
John
him.
Collins.
John Collins.
Anybody not have John Collins?
I didn't. I'll be honest. I did not have John Collins.
I had the pass in, the move in, the tempo.
Hey!
Dave, what did you go for?
John Collins.
Joe.
I didn't have anything.
Fair enough. I love your honesty. I love that.
That was the easiest one.
So that was Dave, Billy, and Liam. Got a point. Okay. And the last one.
Jackson Irvin.
Billy,
Scott Brown.
Scott Brown, Joe,
I put Scott Allen.
Stuart,
Yep, I went for Jackson Irvin.
Dave. Did you write anything down?
No.
Jackson Irvin.
Yeah.
Oh, what man?
Get
Get
it.
on!
I'm not gonna lie, I read the chat and Reedy said Scott Brown and then I couldn't get Scott Brown's eyes at my head. So I didn't want to say Scott Brown though because I read the chat.
Okay, so our final round of this quiz, we might as well make them useful somehow. The price is Dre Wright.
Hey, I love it. Make him useful. Poor bugger, honestly.
So yeah, the price is Dre Wright.
That's class.
You had a morning well spent, Gav, honestly. Brilliant.
This has been about a week. So I'll move you over here to this bit here. Oh no, I need to turn these off again because I need to go through the rules. 2 seconds. So the rules are, so the rules of the round. So I will show you a random piece of Hibs memorabilia currently listed on eBay.
Oh,
Everyone
jeez.
has to guess the buy it now
no.
price. Whomever's guess is closest will get 1 point. If there's a tie,
This is
so say
brilliant.
people are the same out, then it'll go down as a. You'll both get the point. So. Let's get the Zoom chat back. Oh no, I was right to keep these over there.
Hibs Retro have purchased everything.
So yeah,
How rich is that guy, by the way?
Is it the buy it now price, Gav?
the
that
buy
you're
it now
after?
price we're looking for. So no cheating and going on eBay because we've done, like I said, we've done a tester and that's exactly what. Oh, Joe going off his phone here. Oh, is he away off his camera?
can't see
He's
the
away
screen,
onto
so-
eBay. That's genuinely what Stuart, what Stephen done. So don't be a Stephen. So yeah, we have the Jim Leighton goalkeeper top worn by him, a large. So yeah, the 96-98 goalkeeping top. How much is this currently going for on eBay? Buy it now price. Get your guesses written down.
I don't know, but it is absolutely minted.
I love it, eh?
Oh, so
That is class, to be fair.
All the goalie tops in the 90s were amazing.
Ollie got Scoutskin's one. I had that, and then I ran about with the Jimmy Boko wig on with the
Was that the Lumo one?
No, it was white with black pattern through it.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
No, it was phenomenal.
I looked like a black and white jigsaw puzzle. Aye.
Yeah, it was so good.
So next one to write it down a price for, we have a famous 5 mug. So
Was
this
it
is
match one?
Not much worn. So yeah, it's just one mug. It's got a photo of the famous five on it. And yeah, it's just the buy it now price we're looking for. Everyone got a guess written down?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So next round we have Pat Stanton hand signed, so signed by Pat Stanton himself, 16 by 12 inch framed Hibernian photo.
My approach at big round numbers may hurt me quite badly.
Dave, you got a photo with Pat, because I know your papa loved him, and he couldn't have been nicer, couldn't when we met him.
Aye, it was sounds in. I think it was he was speaking to the HSL boys when we went to that open day.
Yes.
And I just said, "Can you get us a photo with Pat?" And he was like, "Just go and ask him, and he'll be fine." So he did. Sound as a pound.
Aye, lovely guy.
Top guy.
And not anymore, but do you know he stole my jacket? Funnily enough, we stole it. I'd done the Hibs TV commentary once, and up in Ross County had a jacket. And then I've still got that jacket. Sorry, but there was one put aside me, which was the current season and actually fit me, and it was put aside for me for if I done it again. And I messaged Kenny to be like, "Oh, is that jacket still there?" And he was like, "Oh, we gave it to Pat Stanton because he needed it." And I was like, "Well, Pat Stanton goes ahead of Gavin Wilson in terms of Hibs jackets."
Not in my eyes. That's shocking. The quiet man, the nicest guy in the world. No, jacket thief. Aye, that's you marked, Pat. I'm having a word next time I meet you.
So a match worn Hibs Masters top, bit of an unusual one this, but of course remember the Masters. So
yes,
like the Keith Wright and things like that. That's something they should bring back.
You need to bring the Masters back.
Yeah,
Masters football was always brilliant.
Yeah.
Aye.
I know there's been a few variations of it and things like that, the Star Sixes and stuff. But yeah, whatever form it is, bring it back. It was brilliant. But yeah, and get Hibs a team again. But yeah, this is from then. Obviously like the Brazil looking top, very similar to our HSL top we've got at the moment. Signed by all the players and match worn. Okay, you all got a price written down for that one?
Yep.
Okay, so next one here, we have a program from 1949, from the 49-50 season. It was a friendly Hibs and Celtic played, near 1950, April 1950. Official program. It is a Celtic program, but it's obviously against Hibs. So how much is this currently going for the buy it now price on eBay?
I know we're not allowed to look up eBay, but can I phone a friend? Because I know the guy in the Hibs Historical Trust that collects programs. I think he'd be quite helpful.
Yeah, I'm sure you're winning anyway. You didn't need the points. It's fine.
Oh, programs. Programs are mental.
Yeah.
I don't collect programs myself, but it's, yeah.
I've got the Barcelona one.
Really?
Yeah, I've got that one too.
No.
We were fucked 6-0 or the Fairs
Dave.
Cup one.
Eidergy Johnson, no scored a hat trick that day.
Fairs Cup one.
Nice.
What year is
Oh,
that?
I thought you meant the one where we got beat 6-0. I was like, I've got that, I know, like.
See the youth of today that think football started in 1992. Honestly, that's
What year was the program, Dave?
Is it no like 61?
60, 61. Aye.
Wow. Aye. Bet that wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of programs, the last item we've got is the Hibs program from the Europa League game 18-19 versus Asturias Trippias. Original price £3, and it's got Flo Canberry on the front.
The seller's actually paying you to take it away.
Not zero.
Hey, that's that. Tam Canberry's holding up his three because he scored a hat trick in the previous game.
Ugh.
So how much is that going for? Have you got something written down?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
Let's go to the answers then. Okay. So, Jim Layton, match worn shirt, what he's going for? Dave?
550.
Write this down. 550. Yep. Liam?
£110.
No chance. I'd have bought it.
No.
Billy?
£300.
Stuart?
I've gone £150.
And Joe?
500.
I can tell you it is a point to Joe because he's a penny out.
Oh,
Well
well done.
done, Joe.
Go.
There we are, near.
Joe. Super Joe.
Next one, we had the famous 5 mug. What did you go for this?
I've been clever. I see if I was selling a mug in that, I'd market it like this and then get it. So I've went £18.75.
1875.
Aye.
Liam,
£12.
Billy,
£9.99.
Joe,
£12.99.
and Stuart.
I've gone £10.
Ooh. That penny could be all the difference, Stuart.
Is that penny
Could
going to be all
be.
the difference? £8.99. So the
Oh.
point goes to Billy.
Okay. Well done, Billy. Fantastic.
I'd get £18.75 for that. I'm just telling you that now.
Well, it's available on eBay for £8.99. I think you
That's
can
not
get
bad. Nine quid. That's
You
all
can
right.
get it cheaper. I think it's like £8.60 if you buy 2 and £8.30 if you buy 3, which obviously like die.
Buy
No,
and resell for
Bit of
£18.75.
saving.
Are we including post and packaging in this, though?
No, not including postage and packaging.
Oh, well,
Um,
that skews everything.
Next one here, the Pat Stanton signed photograph. Dave, what did you go for?
130.
Liam,
£50, if you can see that. £50.
Billy,
150.
150. Joe,
£185.
and Stuart.
120 quid.
Okay, let's have a look. Who's closest? Can reveal that it was £129. So with £130, Dave is closest.
Well done, David.
Fair play.
So the match worn Masters top. What we all thinking, Dave?
210.
210. Liam,
£73 and 99 pence.
73.99. You said.
Yes.
For Masters football. Oh.
Billy,
I went for 400. I think I've went too high.
Stuart,
I think I've seen this before, so I've gone about 350 quid. I remember being quite surprised at how much they were after.
and Joe.
225.
225.
Oh, get away from my guesses, mate. Like,
You have to go to Joe first since Dave's no happy.
I think he's waiting, eh? Because he knows I'm like
Mr. eBay.
Kenzie, you're spot on, mate. That's what it is.
Okay, so I can tell you the point is going to Stuart because it's
Oh.
£360.
Oh.
Oh, I was nowhere there. That's embarrassing. You can't even edit that.
Get on you, Dave.
You were a lot closer than Liam was, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I would only paid £73.99 for it, to be honest.
Program from 1950. I don't know if I can actually see the original price. 2 seconds. I don't know. I can't see that. So yeah, what you thinking, Dave? How much did you go for?
Right. I'll be honest. Right. I've wrote £22, but then I've seen Callum write the price of the program's quite high, so I feel
Stop
quite.
cheating.
No, I've wrote £22.
£22.
You
Okay.
bastard.
Liam.
£28 and 50 pence.
£8. Billy.
I think I've went far too high. I went 200 quid.
Stuart.
I've gone 25 quid.
And Billy.
200.
Oh, sorry, I was on Billy. Joe.
50 quid.
So I can tell you the point is going to Billy, but none of these are anywhere near it. £900.
900 quid.
Oh!
It was £700 when I originally done this, but I went to check everything this morning, and they've changed it to £900.
Who in
Maybe-
their right
maybe
mind
seen
would
that
pay
someone was
900 quid
watching
for a programme?
From a friendly as well. I think it's worth pointing out that, yeah, you can ask for however much you want. It doesn't mean someone's buying it. Jesus.
And the final one here, and the final question in the quiz, the Flo Canberry programme, originally £3. Dave.
£1.50.
Liam.
£0 and 0 pence.
Billy.
I said about tree theory.
Joe.
£3.
And Stuart.
I think for such a highly collectible item, the owner of this deserves a bit of profit, so they're going to go £4.
And Stuart, bang on the money with £4.
Get in.
I got one right. That's shocking.
But it was only
I
one
still can't
person
believe
per round.
£900 on that programme.
Crazy, eh?
Ridiculously.
If anybody had guessed that, they'd clearly been cheated.
Right, I am going to add up the tallies just now. Joe, whilst I'm doing that, have you got any of the questions to hand that we could start to fire through?
Yep, 2 seconds.
Come on, Joe, get on it. You'll lose your job again.
I'll put this up to full screen at the moment.
Big game in the league today, too, by the way, Aberdeen Motherwell. Hopefully Motherwell can take a few points off them.
Do you think Motherwell have turned it around a wee bit since obviously a good point against Rangers? Do you think there'll be a different side under new management?
Pretty decent first half. The second half, they just tried to sit on their win, and you just can't. They were never going to be able to. Like 45 minutes, you're just getting bombarded. But yeah, they look alright, to be fair.
Can't mind if I've fixed my fantasy football team for that.
Who cares? We're playing a semi-final. Hibs at Hampden, baby.
We're going to get into the analysis in a minute, but how are you feeling about the game and just sort of emotion-wise?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Really, I'm looking forward to it.
When you're doing predictions, Gav, I don't want to just start saying my score.
You can do predictions now if you want.
Right, okay. How boring is this, right? I think it's going to be 0-0. Ha! I'm buzzing about it as well. Start with the optimistic one. Fucking 0-0 when we'll get beat 1-0 in extra time. There's your dinner.
Can I just point out?
Johnson away.
Can I just point out? Reedy16 in the chat. Joe, can you ask Liam if he sleeps with his PS5? Can you tell him that I absolutely do? Her name is Miranda, and we've been in a loving relationship since last November.
You'd probably fit in an earphone jack though, so it probably works.
That's a HDMI port. That's what.
Is that what you use?
That's what we use.
Do you put it in right the first time, or do you have to go in a couple of ways?
It's completely consensual, everyone.
Some boy on Twitter last night said they were going to sell them in Argos yesterday. I spent pretty much my whole day refreshing Argos for nothing.
Billy, I'll sell you mine for $3,000.
No.
I just thought a joke. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Aye.
It lets you put it in HDMI port 1 but no 2.
Hey. Well, I got it, Dave. I thought it was funny.
I know, it's funny.
So what's everybody else's prediction since Dave's been so optimistic?
3-1 to Hibernian FC.
I'll go 2-0 Hibs.
I'm going to go 3-0 Hibs. Fuck it, let's be confident. I
Come
genuinely think the big pitch.
Yes,
Boyle's going to have a blinder.
Come on.
These are all brainwashed, man.
I'm going to say 2-1 Hibs.
Yeah,
After extra time.
I was thinking 2-1 Hibs normal time.
I don't think I can deal with extra time again this season.
I know. It was really tough extra time last time, so I don't know how I would feel about that again. But yeah. Okay, so I'll run through the scores. So in last place with 10 points we have Joe.
Oh,
Well done, Joe.
cheers, thanks.
In joint second place we have Dave and Liam, which means as a
Real
joint winner, Stuart and Billy with 13 points.
Well done.
But we're all going to be winners when Hibs get to the final.
Go on, the King of the North.
Well, hey.
So yeah, so let's get back to chatting about Hib, so what I was going to chat about next was the Hampden memories. Let's have a look. So I'll get the. I don't know how to add us in here because there's 6 of us. Let's have a look. Is anybody?
Gav, when do you want me to play the guitar?
I'll tell you what. I'll get you to do that now. I'll get you
Yes.
to do that now. We'll get a wee
No
sing-song
requests, anyone? No requests.
You know that one, Tokyo?
I don't play the Bright Skies. They are a rubbish band. Their lead man is a disgusting human being.
That is unusual in rock music. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I have no idea how the audio is going to sound to this. Hopefully it sounds good, but let's give it a bash. Liam, on you go.
Ready? I want you to all sing along.
It'll be a mess with Zoom.
4. There is a bonny football team at Easter Road they play. I go along to cheer them every other Saturday. In colours green and white, the finest in the land today. The Hibs go marching on. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. We are the high bee boys. Against the continentals we have always stood the test. Against the famous English clubs we're better than the rest. We be the champs of Europe and we are by far the best. As we go marching on. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. We are the high bee boys. Now when I dream of bygone days, as I do now and then, I dream about the forward line, who were our greatest men. Smith, Johnston, Riley, Turnbull, Ormond, we all see again, but their memory marches on. Get up on T. Riley! Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. We are the high bee boys. I know we've got a younger team, I don't want to brag. I only want to see the League Cup again. We're going to top the league next year and win the Scottish flag as we go marching on. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. Glory, glory to the high bees. We are the high bee boys.
That was brilliant. Well done, Liam.
Well, and Liam, that was absolutely brilliant.
I'm in the mood now. Hibs are going to win.
Yes!
Hibs are going to win 1-0. Come on!
Lewis Capaldi shitting himself. Right, I'd kick fuck it, Lewis Capaldi, no?
Right, 2 seconds. I'm just going to get a wee graph here. So,
He's a Celtic fan. Gives a shit what Lewis Capaldi thinks.
Come on! Lewis Stevenson. Lewis Stevenson.
Kim, it's funny. See, before like Liam started singing, we had like loads of like viewers and that on Twitch, and we have
How many did we have before I started?
loads. New you've done. There's like nobody here, mate. They're all away.
Quite right, I know.
I'm winding you up. They've went up, skyrocketed.
Quite right as well. It's raw sex appeal, to be honest.
You have that rock and roll appeal.
oh, just put myself in my glasses. Brilliant. Okay, so let's get moving on. So we're going to be chatting about Hampden now, because one of the reasons we're doing this today is because we're all at home and we should be at Hampden. We should be getting on supporters buses, we should be getting on the trains, we should be drinking, we should be going to the Asda. So we thought we'd have a chat about Hampden. Billy, I mean, I'll start with you because I mean I know you're a big part, play a big part in the North East Scotland Highbees. You've got quite a commute with the bus down. Obviously, you're on that bus, you know, bit of camaraderie because you're on it a lot. What's the sort of daily Hampden routine like for yourselves?
Well, the last time that we went, what we did was, so obviously the bus starts from Aberdeen, works its way down, goes like past Stonehaven, Montrose, Brechin, Carnoustie, Dundee. And then what happened was we were on the bus and Gavin normally does a quiz for us. And normally there's some like top-notch prizes, such as like a free-course meal in one of the pubs in Aberdeen. And I think one of the prizes was a book that nobody wanted. I think he still has that book now because just everybody was like, "No, I'm not having it." And then I think we went to the shed after that, and that's when I tried my first Venom, and that is why I also can't remember the game.
One of the Venoms, man.
They were like slushy Venoms, and honestly, I think they were about £8 each. I think I about drank 8 of them. I cannot remember the game as a result. But yeah, like I mean, obviously the bus is a dry bus on the way down, so it's quite a mellow. But once we got to the shed, it was just like we've got so many hours because it was a later kickoff to just squeeze as much bevy in as possible, which was a terrible idea.
Stuart, I mean, it's half past. Could just come for 2:30. Half 5 kickoff. Where would you be right about now?
Right about now, I'd probably be in one of the bowling clubs outside of Glasgow. Normally, myself, for those of you who don't know, I live in the southeast, so come up. So I'd be probably travelling up the day beforehand on the train, get to stay with my mum, so I'm well fed and watered, bless her, for looking after me. Normally kind of hitting the Four in Hand Gardens at about 9 in the morning to get on the bus, which is absolutely fantastic. Love doing that with my dad, and been very lucky in the past to be able to get on the ex-players bus as well. So normally travel through with the likes of Ralph Callaghan, Tony Higgins has been on it before, Paul Kane, Jackie McNamara. Love Jackie McNamara a bit to bits, but by God, he wins the football card every time on that bus. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he's just overly generous filling up all the squares, but every time Jackie McNamara's winning that card, it must be. But you know what? For Jackie, I'm allowed to have it. We can let Pat have your coat. Jackie can have the football card. I think that's fair. Enjoy going past Tynecastle and obviously kind of waving at them as we're on our way to Hampden. But yeah, you know, it's a brilliant group that leaves the four to go through to the games. A lot of camaraderie, and it just kind of highlights once again what we're missing. Now, I don't want to bring everybody down. We all know where we should be right now, but by God, it's just not going to be the same tonight, is it? Again,
no, it's really not. It's quite difficult just now. But yeah, and sort of, Dave, what I mean, no, you've been kind of going through myself, and it's sort of routine's been changing a bit. But how do you kind of tend to go through?
The last time we got the bus through, we went on the Iona bus. I pitched up at a bowling club. Probably would have done something similar to that again. So cheap drink at bowling clubs, innit? But
good food as well.
Good food, well, eating is cheating, mate. But we did have rolls and sausage, and then they had pies too.
Pies and rolls as well. Pie and a roll.
Yeah. I hadn't discovered a pie roll at this point.
Life-changing
kebab.
Stephen told me to do pie rolls, but I'm pretty sure that was just when I was actually playing bowls at my bowling club. He told me that. I don't think I discovered them at this point. So.
I don't think I've ever been closer to a divorce or the look of disgust in my wife's eye the first time she saw me have a pie roll.
Oh,
honestly, she just looked at me as if I was like sprouting a tail.
Yeah.
I want to point out my wife's English, so they just obviously don't get culinary delights. Oh, steady on, Liam. Come
on. We stumbled. We came off the bus at Iona, and all the pubs and that were full, and I think it was quite close to kick-off after we came up for the bowling club. And we discovered there's like a wee kebab shop next to Hampden, like a food place, and it sells drink. So, but just random as anything drink. They just had like halves of vodka and like random bottles of beer, and everybody was in it. And it was mostly Celtic fans. They got just everybody standing in this wee chippy or this wee kebab shop just drinking. There wasn't anybody really getting
That's
food.
class.
It was so good. But it's right next to it, so
You can't take it outside in the street in Glasgow. Yeah, that's the thing.
nah. So everybody was standing in there, but the guy was obviously completely fine with it. But I think we were doing shots with a Celtic fan.
Yeah.
Aye,
And a
so
kebab.
stupid. I think I got his mobile number. I think we said we were going to be pals.
I think you said you were going to get him on the podcast for Celtic previews.
Aye, but then I fucking hated him. See, when it was half time and we were getting beat, I was like, I hate that guy. I couldn't get his number. So that's maybe I was fighting with Gav. I can't remember.
It was me you were fighting with. It was a joke, but aye, it's fine.
Was it you? Aye.
We're not fighting.
I've
we were
always
just
found
arguing.
the drinking on the streets in Glasgow thing interesting. When you jump off your bus, you've still got a bit of your can in there. The police say down it. They didn't mean what actually down it means. That's always wound me up, genuinely.
Liam, what about yourself? What's your sort of daily routine with Hampden? I mean, are you sort of a sports bus, train, car with your dad?
Unlike yous, I live in Edinburgh, so me and my old man, get up in the morning straight on the Don Revy. We get the 4-in-hand bus, but it picks us up at where we stay, which is the Jambo side of town. So there's not really many Hibs fans getting on where we get on. So get on the bus and go through usually a bowling club. I think most recently for the last few semis and finals we've went to Giffnock Bowling Club, which has been class. I just get pissed, mate. Go and enjoy the day. Also, always remember your tickets, because for the Scottish Cup final, my dad left the tickets in the house. Honestly, this is a true story, right? We went all the way to Giffnock fucking bowling club, right? So I'm sitting down, my dad, I'm with my pals, and my dad, my mum, my sister, and my pal's dad are all sitting together talking. And my pal's dad goes to my dad and he goes, "Oh, whereabout are you sitting?" And he goes to feel his back pocket for a ticket. And he's like, "Oh shit." Feels his wallet. They're knowing his wallet. And he's like, "Oh fuck." Right. My sister comes over to me at my table and she's like, "Liam, dad's forgot the tickets." And I went, "Very good. Fuck off." And she's like, "Nah, honestly, he's forgot the tickets." So I turned around, right? And this guy is as white as a sheet. Honestly. He is shitting himself. So I turn round and I'm like, "You forgot the fucking tickets?" And he's like, "I forgot them. And I was like, "What are we going to fucking do?" Right? And I was I was raging. My mates were trying to calm me down. They were like, "Listen, if you get the tickets in time and get in, that means we're going to win the cup." Right? So my mum phoned her mate and she had to go down to my grand's house to pick up a spare key for my house, go into the house, pick up the tickets, give them to her pal, who then drove them through to Hampden, and we got in and into our seats as the teams were shaking hands.
Oh, well done.
Oh,
And we won a cup.
There you go.
And we won a cup.
I'll be amazed you got the first half, mate. If you told me Miss Stokes' first goal, I wouldn't have been shocked, but bloody hell, that's some effort by your family to rally there.
Aye.
How many boxes of chocolates and drinks and that did you buy to say thank you to everyone that's at
I think we gave the guy like £100. I can't mind precisely how much, but he was. We didn't even ken the guy. It was my mum's mate's mate. We didn't even ken him. We'd never met him before, and he drove the ticket. He could easily just took the tickets and went in, but he never. Top guy, buzzing. I would give him a shout out, but I don't even know what his name is.
Admittedly, Liam's dad didn't have a telly when he came back in the house, but still, it was a good effort.
Oh no, honestly, it was mental. That was mental. It was like a race against time. It was like a fucking action film. But we got there. We watched the full game. We won the cup, and then the rest is history.
Joe, what about yourself?
Brilliant
Any sort of memories or any sort of how do you sort of tend to get through for Hampden?
it's normally the train for me, to be honest. I just normally get through, try and find somewhere to wait out until kick off, and then see what happens after that.
It's trying to find the right pub, isn't it? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's something I've learned in the last few years is maybe trying to be more organised and to sort of have a plan more in place. It was great, like I say, having, like Stuart sort of mentioned as well, and Dave mentioned, going to a bowling club and having that, like, okay, this is where we are. That's much better than, you know, I remember going and be like, oh well, that place looks full, or they're not taking any more. Oh no, right, we can't drink, and then just end up being sober. So I made a mess of that.
The baby's so
time.
cheap in bowling clubs too.
Yeah, aye, much cheaper. But yeah. Aye. So it's definitely, we should be there. Like I say, get your chats in about what you would be doing now, where you would be, how you usually get through and things like that. But yeah. So let's any sort of other stories from Hampden that you want to share?
No.
No. That's fine. I'm just asking. That's fine. I didn't want to jump
Any other stories are bad stories for me, eh? That's fucking getting beat.
Same.
But yeah. So I thought we'd have a chat about St Johnstone. Obviously we're playing them today. Let's get the graphic up here. Oh, where is it going? 2 seconds. Sorry, boys. Turn that one off. Where's the Hampden one? This is. There we go. Deja vu. That's it. Okay. Apologies for me being fiddly and getting used to this. I've also it's better with having the people talking, so I'm fiddling about with Zoom here as well and make sure, because it's not picking me up. But it doesn't matter. The folk that are in the chat will know what I'm talking about.
Take your time, guys. It's all right, mate.
So obviously we're playing St Johnstone again in a semi-final. We've spoke about a bit in the quiz, but I mean, 2 really exciting games, obviously, because Hibs won, but, you know, both of them at Hampden as well. I mean, Dave, any sort of particular memories from either game?
What games?
The 3-1 after extra time at Tynecastle and the McGinn scoring the winner in 2016.
Right, I was down there. Putting my coat on.
Oh.
Putting my coat on. Sorry, I've got to get it on. This is obviously a long podcast, mate, so I've got to do other things at the same time. I mean, life's got to go on, Gavin.
Fair enough.
Rookies need their weekly donation. What was I going to say? They were good games. I enjoyed the semi-final at Tynecastle. Was that one of the games you asked me about?
Yeah, both of them.
You're looking all confused there.
Dave, you're a Hibs fan. We're talking about the football.
Move on.
Stuart, has either of the game got more of a sort of fond memory? I mean, to me, the 2007 was always sort of special, especially like, the fact it went extra time and Murphy's free kick and Benji's goal. But is there either one that has sort of more emotional connection with it?
Well, it's going to be difficult to follow Dave's contribution there, but you know what? For some strange reason, I remember being really confident going into both games. The 2007 one, we felt like we did a lot of things right during the 90 minutes, but then typical bloody Hibs let them back into it. Jason Scotland scoring, and you're thinking, here we go. Murphy's free kick came a couple of minutes after. And you think, all right, well, that was kind of us on easy street for the rest of the extra time. I can't remember them threatening us, and Benji's goal just kind of wrapping it up, and that was kind of it. We were on our way back to Hampden. The 2-1 game, that obviously an absolute pile driver from McGinn. That kind of lifted the roof off the shaky Tynecastle stand that we're on. Seeing the boys going into the stadium with the big hazmat suits on and things like that, just kind of brilliant banter that, again, something that you're really missing now.
And Billy, I mean, Benji's goal in that first game, I mean, it's been shared about a lot this week, and no wonder. It's one of those ones where it seems like he's going to take too long. It seems like it's too easy to score. It's a brilliant ball in, and then he just takes around. One player takes around the keeper and just, is he good? And then eventually just taps it in an empty net. But he done brilliantly then, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. The thing that always annoys me about that goal, and even when I watch the highlights, I still get annoyed at, is just after he scores, the St Johnstone boy goes up to him and pushes him. And I remember being at the game and being absolutely raging, like, what's he doing?
It's because Benji fouls him before the ball's played through to him. Benji fills him in the middle of the park, and the boy decks it. And after Benji scores, it's the guy that he decked coming back and pushing him.
Thing about that game is that was on my birthday, and I remember it was the first time I'd ever gotten the train through to a Hibs game, because at the time I was living in Fife. So because it was my birthday, my family were like, we'll all have a drink and it'll be a nice day, and we'll get the train through. I got absolutely smashed. My wee nephew Jack, because it was at Tynecastle, he was like, I hate Tynecastle. So it was at half time, and completely like for no reason, he just gets his pie and he just smashes it into his seat. He's like, yeah, Tynecastle, get up, yeah. He's like, you've got to sit in that for the rest of the match now.
Brilliant,
man.
And Joe, I mean, the 2016 game, it seemed like, we were just that really good in the cup that year. Apart from, I mean, the only sort of blip was the final against Ross County. But that game just seemed like we were on a mission in the cups that year, didn't we?
Yeah, it did seem like we were playing very well in the cups. To be fair, unluckily though, Jackson Irvine was man of the match in the Ross County final. So,
aye, and hopeful of another sort of performance from him today, like we said.
Hopefully.
So, let's have a chat about the match then. I'm going to put this off and the match preview graphic up. There we go. I'll tell you what, I'll put it over a wee bit. Why no?
He's all done your Hibs picks. Oh, in fact, Stuart,
No, can he
I'm
do
a
them?
kiss to death.
Yeah, me and Billy, clearly, if we stay off it, we're going to be fine today. Honestly.
I always pick wrong, so I'm not bothering.
The first 2 weeks, I was like the most optimistic Hibs fan ever. I was like, are we going to win? Yes. How many goals is Dodge going to score? 5. Nisbet, 5.
Six plus shots on target. Aye. Paul Hanlon, 18 interceptions. Aye, fuck it, why not?
How many tackles will Ryan Porteous make? 10.
And then it was like 4
I clearly
games
don't watch
later.
football. I've got no idea what's happening.
But yeah, we asked this earlier on. You sort of done your score predictions and stuff. But I mean, apart from Dave, he's all feeling quite confident ahead of today's game.
I hate to say I'm confident, because every time I say I'm confident, we end up getting beat. But you've got to be confident against St Johnstone. With all due respect, I mean they're all right, but we should be beating them, and I think that's where the confidence comes from. So, fingers crossed we get a good result. They'll be chucking everything at us as well. I hope it's just not a case of Hibs thinking, all we need to do is turn up.
That's the mentality that Stubbs changed. Like Hibs fans used to be like, but something's going to go wrong, and then Stubbs was just like, why is that the mentality? And he was trying to change that, and he did. But then I've slipped back into it.
Yeah, negative.
Do you think
negative,
some Hibs fans...
It's too good to be true. This is the last 4 of a cup competition, and look at the teams that are left, and it's like, I know Livy are playing well, but if this was your last 4 at the start of the season,
I'd bite your hand off, like.
Dave, is one of the reasons, do you think that sort of doubt is kind of crept back in was because of the Hearts game a couple of months ago? I think I'll be honest, I went in really confident. I was like, we're going to beat them well, we're going to use the big pitch well. Boyle's going to have a blinder, which is again what I've said about today. But then it came to, and it just never sort of materialised, and I think a lot of Hibs fans like myself are really hurting after that game.
Yeah. I think it definitely is that, and I think that every game that we play, very little exceptions, I think those fine margins that Jack Ross speaks about, like it always feels like the game's dead in balance, like anybody can go either way. That's what I think anyway. It feels like both teams can win it to a point.
Joe, how are you kind of feeling? I know the Hearts game was a few months ago. How are you feeling off the back of that? And has it affected your confidence going into today? And do you think it would potentially have the same effect on the players as well?
I reckon it could probably have an effect on the players, especially Nisbet with him missing the penalty towards the end. For me personally, it has affected the confidence going into the semi-finals. Although it's St Johnstone and the league position should be enough to tell you that we should be beating them. It's always a Hibs thing to lose when we have when the odds are in our favour. So.
Not the day though.
See, when it comes to like games at Hampden, though, it's always like kind of your unsung heroes that shine through. So, wouldn't it be just like a bit of like poetic justice if Jay Wright is the kind of match winner for us against his old club?
Oh,
see if he scores a hat-trick today, by the way.
Didn't tease me, Billy.
How would you still say if he scored a hat trick today? Would you still say he's shite, or would you say I was onto something saying folk were writing him
I'd
off?
say he needs to go by the end of the month.
He's still shite, but he got us into a final line.
So let's have a chat about the Hibs team today. So what I did was the people that actually replied to me, because Dave and Stuart didn't. So we've got Billy and we've got Billy's team, Liam's team, and Joe's team here. So we'll start with Liam's team. So I'm going to load that up and move that up to the top. And then
I don't think you made it clear that we had to send it to you. I thought we just said
I put it in the chat that you've got to send it to Gav.
I've muted you.
I'm no surprised there. I love this game.
I bloody see.
I can't see.
So, is it sunny where you are, Billy?
Aye.
Sunshine on Billy.
Sunshine
I'm gonna
on
bring
me.
us all back in here. So you guys can't see this. I should have done a screen share, but it's fine. I'll just run through what we've got here. So Liam's team, he's went Macy. I had Rocky today, keeping Macy in goals. He's went for 5-3-2. He's went for McGinn, Porteous, and Hanlon. He's went for Irvin and Newell in the middle. Allen back with a start in central attacking midfield. Doig and Nisbet up top, and he's went for wing backs of Doig on the left and Stephen Whittaker on the right.
Quite right as
See,
well.
this is where you'd be better not sending a team in.
Surprise signing, aye.
I now understand why you didn't want us to show us their teams before this.
This is why you muted.
I didn't want anyone to steal the limelight off me. That's what it is.
So
No one else would have put Whittaker in.
other than Whittaker, I mean, why do you feel the 3-5-2 would work, Liam?
I don't, without sounding too much like Stephen, I think the 3-5-2 is where we can fit all our best players in. The 3-5-2 and the 4-3-3, but I would rather be playing a 3-5-2 today. In all seriousness, instead of Whittaker, I'm at a crossroads between putting Boyle or Cadden in. I feel Boyle, although this is a big game and we probably need Boyle for the full 90 minutes, I think maybe a couple of games on the bench would maybe do him a bit of good and bring him on as an impact sub when, St Johnstone are tiring, because, he does have the absolute blistering pace and he'll just make an absolute, no hunt out of the defenders. So I'd be tempted to start Cadden if we had Cadden for longer and he was fitter. But I don't think that'll be the team anyway, so it doesn't even fucking matter what I think.
Dave, what I mean, if Cadden was to sort of play ahead of Whittaker, because like I say, he's put that in for silly reasons, how would you feel about Boyle being on the bench? Would it be deserved?
I don't know.
He's ruined it with Whittaker, by the way.
Maybe, obviously, wouldn't be deserved, but like I don't think he's done enough to be a nailed on like starting 11 player. To be fair, I don't think anybody would be able to argue if you did bench him. So maybe starting Cadden, wee bit of surprise factor as well. Boyle in his day though.
St Johnstone will only be expecting Cadden to start if he starts.
Yeah. So
I could not even think about naming you what the team will be today.
Is that again though part of the problem that we've had this season? I don't even know if Jack Ross knows what his strongest starting 11 is. I think you've got a good shout with Cadden.
Formation based on the team.
I think you've got a good shout with Cadden because he has been training with us for about 3-4 weeks before he signed, so he should be a bit more up to pace for it. So yeah, I don't think it's a stupid shout to have him on that right wing.
So let's have a look and see what Billy went for. So Billy has went for Rocky back in. He's went for the same sort of formation we played against Kilmarnock. McGinn, Porteous, Hanlon, Doig, Gogic and Newell coming in for Hallberg. Irvin keeping his place, and then Boyle, Murphy. So the only really change would be Rocky in for Macy and Newell in for Hallberg. So Billy, was it just sort of, why change a winning team?
Rocky's our number one goalkeeper. He's probably the best goalkeeper I've seen for Hibs in my lifetime. It makes no sense not playing him. Like he's got all the attributes for us to win. Where Macy is still like an unknown quantity. I don't really know much about Macy, but I know Rocky, so that was my mindset.
And no Whittaker as well. Disgrace.
Stuart, how do you see it going? Do you think Macy will keep his place, or do you think Rocky will come back in if fit?
No, I've stuck with Rocky and agree with Billy there. He's our number one keeper. Whether he's going to sign a new deal or not, please don't go, Shelley. We love you. But we need to kind of keep things as solid as humanly possible for it there. So I've gone for a 4-5-1 against every fibre in my being. I hate going one up top, but we're going for Rocky and goals, young Doig on the left back, Porteous, Hanlon, McGinn following the rest of the midfield. The defence. Then Murphy, Newell, Gogic, Irvin and Boyle. Obviously with Murphy and Boyle kind of advancing forward and Nisbet up top.
So one thing that I kind of want to ask about, and I mean I know we've not really done a Kilmarnock review. I know you guys that are in the group chat you're on the group chat, but would have seen my thoughts on Murphy during the Kilmarnock game. Dave, I mean, you must understand where I was coming from. The fullback had an easy game because he knew Murphy was cutting onto his right foot, cutting inside every time, and it just made an easy day for the fullback.
Yeah, and then when you pointed it out, obviously, like we were watching the game too, but as soon as you pointed it out, it was like even more glaringly obvious that's what he was doing. It was a wee bit frustrating. That's what we want. We want direct folk, like to run it folk, and not just
the way that Murphy was playing in the first half kind of reminded me of the way that Lewis Stevenson plays, when he runs forward and then stops and then turns back round. I just didn't understand why, like what you said, Murphy, why are you going inside all the time? Go outside. When we scored the first goal, it was because Murphy went outside and gave it to Doig, who went outside and then cut in. It must have been so easy for the defenders. They must have just said, "Oh, that's Murphy got the ball." They could have just stood inside the park and Murphy would have run into them.
The thing that I found frustrating was that there was two instances in particular. One, I can sort of remember really well. The ball came up to Irvin, who held it up and immediately released Murphy. Really well played from Jackson Irvin. And we were in a 4-on-3 situation. Boyle was coming at the back post. Irvin was getting into the box. Nisbet was there, and then obviously had Murphy making the run. I think we had a man advantage. I remember that. And Murphy then cuts onto his right hand foot, dillies about with the ball. Kilmarnock then get back, get organised. One of the things they're really good at, give them time, they'll get organised. We then find it difficult to break them down. He then passes back to Hallberg, who then passes back to Porteous, and the ball ends up with Macy. And I'm like, we were in a numerical advantage there, and the ball's back with the goalkeeper. It was just infuriating. I don't know if anybody wants to follow up on it, but yeah, we've never done a Kilmarnock review, and I really needed to get that off my chest. It was really annoying me.
Go on, Gav.
So the final team I've got here, graphic wise, is Joe's team. Let me load this up here and bring it up to the top and make that the new image. So Joe, you went back to the 4-4-2. Cadden coming in for Boyle on the right hand side, Irvin and Newell in the middle, so dropping Gogic, and Doig coming back in up top to play beside Nisbet, and Macy in goals as well. We have had some success with the 4-4-2. Do you feel that just sort of returning back to that, and do you feel we need to go with 2 up top?
I do, yeah. I think we all go back to the 4-4-2 considering St Johnson's formation in recent weeks. Unfortunately for you, Gab, I think we'll be going direct and Jamie Murphy will be going inside. St Johnson's defenders are always commit fouls when the first man's beaten on the wing. So I think that Jamie Murphy will be told to go direct every time.
What do you think? Cadden only sort of came on for a few minutes. Stuart, can you see Cadden potentially getting a start?
The way Liam described it, absolutely. for whether he's ready to start. But again, thankfully, with the guys we've brought in and the guys we've got coming back from injury, I'm going to be a lot more confident in the options we've got for being able to change the game. Previously, we'd have been looking at that bench and going, all right, best option we've got to come on is Stevie Mallon. Okay, that's not good enough. But now we're looking at, Scott Allen in the frame to get on today. McGuinness back to full fitness. Cadden. These are all guys that can actually do something and change a game. That's a lot more exciting. I still think we're a bit shy up top. But I'd also like to see that young Bradley getting a place on the bench today.
I think we've been screaming out for that young laddie for weeks now. There's been games, especially the games against Livingston and Ross County, where we maybe needed a little bit more creativity. We're getting beat, so what's the point in chucking on fucking Stephen McGinn? Why don't we just put on Bradley and see if he can create something and get a goal? You know what I mean? I think we should be giving him a little bit more playtime. He was brilliant against Hamilton when he come on. It was against Hamilton, we were 4-0 up cruising. But,
but it's an important part. It's an important part of a player's development as well. Yeah, it's easy to bring a young laddie on when you're 3-4 up, you're cruising. I get the laddie's win bonus, his appearance bonus, that's great. But let's see what you can do in a game where we need you to step up and do something. All right, exactly. We're not expecting you to progress the game and turn it on its head for us. But if you can do something, laddie, put your mark on it.
Exactly, because we had no players on the bench that could really create.
Yeah, it's great that we've now got those options from the bench. I think, it's something we've been really short on. So I think we've spoke about the options from the midfield. It's great that we've got options now. It's great that we're able to speak about, do we start Cadden, potentially on the right and then drop Boyle and we've got Boyle on the bench, or Cadden coming off the bench, or Cadden going to right wing back, or even potentially right back, and then it gives you options. And I think it's amazing how two signings, outfield signings, can really help in terms of the overall options we have from the bench. And hopefully, and I agree with what you were saying. I think it's ridiculous that Stephen Bradley's been sitting on the bench. It seems like he's, I don't know, there's been games we've been winning and he's not came on, and there's games we've been losing. I thought maybe he didn't want to put pressure on a young laddie to go turn around the game, but at the same time, when we're comfortable winning and you've got the 5 subs, he's not bringing him on. So I don't know, but I think he's somebody that we should be given more opportunities to. Joe, I know you've done a bit of research in terms of what St Johnstone bring. We were speaking about how Murphy's quite direct. Is there any sort of St Johnstone players that will play quite direct?
Rooney on the right wing is very direct, but he's the only direct player, I would say. They mainly play through the middle, shown on the possession maps. So I think it's going to be route one, unless Witherspoon decides to create a bit. Rooney's going to be the only one challenging Doig. If there's going to be any cross put in it, it's going to be Rooney to put them in.
And it's just sort of like the sort of long football up towards Stevie May that they've been playing?
Pretty much, yeah.
Aye. I mean, how do you think that'll kind of work for them in terms of just opening up to everybody? How do you think that'll kind of work, the long ball at Hampden Park?
I think it works mainly because there's not much running involved, so they keep their energy up.
To be honest, if that's the way they're going to play, that makes me feel a bit more comfortable for us, because that's the type of game that Hanlon and Porteous will just eat up. Like, their strong attributes are in the air. So I don't particularly think that they'll challenge us that much then. My worry going into the game was more thinking of O'Halloran running at our fullback. That was kind of giving me a bit of worry. But saying that, I've not seen that boy play for a while, so I don't know if he's still as direct as he was when he got his move to Rangers.
Yeah, another career kind of stumbled by moving to Glasgow, to be fair. And big one for me, Jason Kerr at the centre back for St Johnstone. If you ever want to get your move to Hibs, mate, throw today.
Okay.
We're watching you keenly. We want you to come and be our future captain, but by God, you better not put a performance in the day, lad. Don't just think Jackson Irvine can wander in after a man of the match against us in the League Cup.
Okay, so I think so. What the only sort of thing now left to do is sort of go through the questions. I don't know if Joe, you've got some of them there. I know they've kind of not as been as many coming through. So, Joe, have you got any of the questions there from the? Well, I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to look that up. Whilst you look them up,
Yep.
I'll quickly we'll chat about something else. But yeah, Dave, who would you like to see in the final?
Probably St Mirren now, to be honest.
100% St Mirren, eh?
Aye.
1000%.
They're playing, man. They're confident. Really confident.
If it's Livy that gets into the final, you're thinking, oh fuck, we've been here before. You know what I mean?
Do you not kind of want to play Livingston then and get that kind of monkey off our backs? Because, like, to me, that still hurts, even like so many years later, where I would love to just beat them in a final and just get that monkey off our back.
I think it'll be interesting to see what the authorities do with regards to that final, remembering that the English League Cup final has been shifted way into April to try and get fans in. Are Scotland going to do similar?
There's absolutely no chance fans will be in by April, eh? No chance.
I think they've maybe said that maybe there might be some capacity, like maybe a couple of thousand or something.
Oh well, push it. Come on! Let's all go. Let's all go to Hampden. Let's all go to Hampden.
Bring back the point system.
I think I would rather see if it was saying you could have a couple of thousand at Hampden. I'd rather go and maybe if you were allowed 10 in a group, I'd rather just do it that way rather than sit fucking rows away from folk.
Watch it in Stu's pub.
Yeah, something like that.
Joe's back.
Yep. So one of the questions was, who's going to be the hero for Hibs today?
Good one.
2 words. Steve
Right.
Whoever's in goal.
No, I think Nisbet's going to put aside his wee hand in hoodoo and do it for his dad today.
I love that.
Go on, Dizzy, my guy.
He's been brilliant this season, full stop. Even in a quieter game, the lad's energy, his determination, he's going to be key for us today, and he's going to do it.
Dave,
I love Nisbet so much, eh? I actually love him, eh? What a guy.
I'm going to tell Whitaker you're cheating on him.
Oh, no, I don't love anyone as much as I love Whitaker, apart from my fiance, of course. So if you see this, Megan, please don't think that I love Stephen Whitaker more than you, because I don't.
Dave, who has potential to be the hero of the day?
Joking aside, I say Marciano, but whoever's in goals, probably Jackson Irvine. He could that's him had some game time in it, so he could definitely show what he's made of.
Billy?
I'm going to go a wee bit outside the box. Obviously, I'd love to see Dre Wright kind of do it, but part of me thinks just for watching his run into the box in the last game, I think Josh Doig's going to kind of maybe grab himself.
That would be class, man. That'd be class.
It's just considering left back's not even his natural position, he just seems like when he goes on a run on the ball, he's really direct. And if Murphy's not doing that, then it's good to see that wee Josh is. So he's going to be my unsung hero for this one.
Pretty good.
I think it'll be Joe Newell.
I think Newell will show it today.
I think Newell will be the hero, and he'll the ball will break to him at the edge of the box, and he will just smack it, and it will go in off the bar. Let's go, and then nestle in the back of the net. 76 minutes and 21 seconds is when he'll score.
Not to be precise.
Very precise. I've seen this game before, mate, so I know what's exactly going to happen.
Liam's got the book for Back to the Future.
So what's
Absolutely. Although I need to make a confession. I said this to Dave the other day when we were playing Call of Duty. I've never seen Back to the Future. I've never seen it.
I was watching Back to the Future 3 yesterday.
I've heard that it's really, really good.
Brilliant.
It's an excellent trilogy.
Yeah.
I've just never watched it, and I don't know why.
One of the most consistent trilogies. I think so. That to me, it's that in Star Wars. But even then, the original Star Wars has its flaws.
If you've ever thought about shagging your mum, that's the film for you.
I'll watch it tonight then.
Joe, what's the next question we've got? Let's quickly move on.
One that I had actually was who do you think is going to play today, Stevenson or Doig?
I think it'll be
I'd
Doig
love for it
keeping
to be
his
Doig,
place.
but I think it's probably going to be Stevenson.
Gone Doig.
Nah, it's going to be Doig.
Yeah, Doig for me as well.
Yeah.
Doige.
The next question, Joe.
I need to find some more.
Right, no worries.
There's not been that
There's one here.
We're
Whilst
able for
still
that.
looking, one here. What's the best meal deal selection? So I think he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about Tesco or whatever or Greg's.
Right,
And a little
this
update,
is
apparently-
my thing.
Rafe Rovers are 1-0 up.
Yes. I guess they're playing Hearts. I don't know. I don't follow
Yes,
lower
they
league
are.
football.
I don't follow lower league football, but aye.
Meal deal selections, right? Let me put
Get
it
into
this way.
Liam's territory here.
I either what we're thinking? Are we thinking the most tastiest, or are we getting the most bang for your buck?
Both.
Right. For the most bang for your buck, it's got to be a triple sandwich, and the most expensive ones are usually, your bacon, sausage, and egg ones. That's like the triple. They'll put you back maybe $2.50 if you bought them on their own. Right. Then you need to look at the drinks, and it's obviously a naked smoothie because they're like £2.50 and all. There's £5 already. That's £2 of savings, and the crisps are all usually the same price, but probably like the Walker's Max, like the paprika ones. You know what I mean? Dave Ken's ones. I mean, eh?
I'm willing to bet
Yeah.
Liam didn't put this much effort into his school exams
Right.
compared to this.
Listen, I'm smart as fuck. I would say that's probably giving you a saving there, about £3.50 or something. But if we're going what I would choose chicken, bacon, and Caesar wrap. I would then go for probably a bottle of full fat Coke because I like that. And this is a difficult one. I never know whether to get crisps or chocolate. But right now I would go. I'd like a Whisper right now. So I'm going chicken, bacon, Caesar wrap, bottle of Coke, and a Whisper.
Good choice.
Good selection.
So next question, sort of similar on that sort of. Somebody's asked. So Blair has asked about your favourite crisps and your favourite. What do you prefer on a sandwich? So this is. We'll go to everyone. Dave, what kind of crisps do you like?
Best crisps for a sandwich for me is get some white bread, butter it,
Oh, crisps on a sandwich. Okay.
and you fire just cheese and onion Walkers. You can't really go wrong. Brilliant crisp
You
sandwich.
kind of merged the two questions there, but it was high.
Yeah, but no, best crisps, if you're just having a packet of crisps, is chili heatwave, chili sensations, surely.
Interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
Or barbecue Pringles, or chili
Steak
heatwave.
McCoy's is up there though.
Oof.
I like the sour cream and chive Pringles too.
Aye. See, getting the chili heatwave Doritos and putting them on a foot-long Subway.
Apparently,
So,
the new Dorito Flame Grill ones are meant to be delicious.
I'm going to say
That's
something
right.
controversial here. I don't like crisps. I mean, I don't mind crisps, but I'm not like I don't really enjoy crisps.
crisps are better than everything.
No,
Apart from biscuits, I like biscuits.
like give me Doritos and I'll make some nachos or something. But other than that, I'll never sit down and have a bag of crisps because they're fine, but they're not great, and I know they're shitty for you. So
What about Watsits?
no,
Would you class them as a crisp though? They're not really crisps, are they?
Don't really like Watsits and Skips and cheesy puffs and that, anything that's
What
too.
about knickknacks? You like knickknacks?
Yes.
Knickknacks are fucking Barry, eh?
Yeah,
They're so good, man.
Stuart, what about yourself? What if you're making a sandwich? What do you tend to put in a sandwich?
I don't know. Probably kind of quite straightforward, to be fair. Just a good old ham and cheeser for it. Maybe a little bit of chutney or something on top of it, but nothing too fancy.
chutney.
Chutney.
Like,
That's
yeah,
all
Nothing
Tory.
too- You can't say
That
a
is
bit
all
of chutney
Tory.
and then say nothing too fancy.
Ah,
Fucking chutney.
You can't say that in the same sentence.
That is so Tory, Stuart. What's all that about?
That's cardigan behaviour, that.
Nothing wrong with cardigans. Didn't bring a name into that.
Oh.
Joe, any other questions? We've got any other questions?
No, that I could find.
All right, okay. I'll have a quick look through here and see if there's any more, and we'll start to wrap up because I can imagine.
Gally, what's your favourite crisps?
Well, knew that Dave's just shut away them. I was going to say what's it, but
I like what's it, see? I like what's it, but I wouldn't class them as a crisp. A crisp
snack.
for me is
Like a separate.
made out of
If
tatty.
you have what's it, so you need to get the giant ones.
Aye, mate, the giant ones are decent, like.
well, when I was wee, in my packed lunchbox were always ready salted. You remember the squares?
Oh,
Aye.
Aye, ready
Squares,
salted squares.
Mine's salt and shake. Remember them?
yeah.
Aye, with the wee blue packet.
Aye.
Aye.
What was the fucking point in that, eh?
Took me
Yeah.
years to fucking find the packet.
Pensioners were mad for them at the bingo, by the way. I used to find those wee blue packets all about the place.
Right, so we're going to finish up there. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the chat and got your questions and stuff. There was I see a lot of chat going on. I can see there's a lot of people. So yeah, thank you for. We hope that this has given a bit of content and a bit of something to, because like I say, the sort of thing I had up earlier on, we should be at Hampden today and we're not because of COVID and stuff. So just thought we'd try and do something a bit different. Like I say, a bit of laugh with the quiz, a bit of a match preview. But yeah. So we hope you enjoyed this. Like I say, we'll be back next week to kind of review the game and look ahead. Who have we got after St Johnstone?
No, Rangers.
Rangers.
Midweek.
Rangers, thank
Oh,
God.
Oh, Wednesday night. Yeah, aye. Yeah, so we'll need to get the podcast out probably tomorrow or something. Because I'm working the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, probably tomorrow we'll get the podcast sorted. Reviewing tonight's game. Hopefully, looking forward to a final. I'm looking forward to Rangers as well, which I'm not looking forward to because let's face it, they've been really good this season. But yeah, aye. So yeah, we'll finish up there. Guys, you just I'm just going to say what you've got planned, but obviously just the Hibs game.
Just the next game, aye.
Is there much of a build-up on the Premier Sport? Because times in the past I've tuned into them, they're barely kind of all live and online, or broadcasting 2 minutes before the teams are walking out. Is
Starts
there a
happening
build-up?
before, apparently.
Does it?
Aye.
That's why you tune in and they're still showing like reviews of last week's Italian football, which is fair enough, but you've expected a bit of a build-up.
We'll be talking about the Old Firm for the rest of it anyway. So
I hope
I'm
not
not gonna-
as bad as sports scene, eh, Billy?
Oh, didn't even get me started. Tuned into Sports Scene the day and was like, let's talk about the fact that the Old Firm aren't in this match. Like,
What?
Oh, brilliant, thanks.
Straight away?
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. They're like, it's the first time that there's not been an Old Firm in the semi-finals. What do you make about Rangers not getting a trophy this season then? Like, what?
yeah, it's shocking.
Nah, there needs to be a change with Scottish football. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we could rant about that for ages. But we've ranted long enough. So we're going to finish up there. Thank you for tuning in, everybody that tuned in. Thanks for people who got involved with the questions. Hope you provided you with some content. Like I say, I know there's a few stories which we'll go back and kind of read and stuff about people's Hampden's experiences. Let us know yours at HFC Talk and what you think the score will be today. But we'll finish up there. Guys, thank you